You and your dragons are a team of very beautiful and ancient souls. Very wise also, a team of wise and gods and deities, and you including yourself. Because you can manipulate nature itself, and you can also manipulate the gates, and that is very interesting to know. You have your own way, together alongside with your dragons, your way and your way alone, to open up the gates and manipulate nature. You cannot share this with anyone and expecting to happen the same. If it might be, if your brother or sister hears what you are doing and how opening the gate, it can be that they have a complete different way to open up the gate, because every single individual path and every single dragon is different. So the ways of the dragon and the ways to open up the gates are also very much different. And this difference can be so great that it could be, if you come together to a gathering and you can say to them to open up the gates, then the gates will remain closed even though you did the same. It remain closed because it's not a door that you can walk through. It's a gateway to another dimension. Keep that in mind, that you and your dragons are manipulating something that cannot be manipulated, but you are trying to do so in order to be with your dragons and in order to open up your own spirit, to know more and to learn more. So in a way, if you write everything down in your book of Dragon Shadows, most of the time it cannot be used by anyone else but you. Your information is just meant for you, and how you do it, most of the time you open up gates because of your mind, your emotions, your energy that is opening up together alongside with all of your dragons. And that is how you can manipulate it, because your dragon god allowed it. A dragon god is a god of everything, a god of the earth, a god of the a god of the fires, a god of the sun, a god of the gates between gates. I mean, they are gods of everything. Humanity can claim, of course, that they can know God, but they know nothing about gods. Gods are the dragons, and they are everywhere in everything. So opening up the gates is because of them. They made the rules, and you can bend the rules just because of your dragon eye, your cooperation with all of your dragons together. If you are together, you create a force so great, so powerful, and so divine, that you can indeed open up gates. And that is the reason why you can do it. But every one of us has a different key, and every one of us has a different opening as well, to a different key and a different way of opening it. So your way cannot be the same as your brother or sister on the dragon's path. It can be completely different. Keep that in mind. It's so sacred and it's so closed up that you have to know how to open it up. Don't do too much effort to know this. Don't force yourself. Just feel the instincts that you have together alongside with your dragon, and let them lead the way how you open up the gates. But let yourself be guided as well by your own emotions. Emotions are dragon magic. So use your emotions and direct them at the dragon's gate. Direct them as wait. Sorry. Direct them to do where you have to go. Where the energy has to go to open it up. To open it up, it's much more actually effort than I first expected. But in the first thing, I didn't even know that I was opening a gate. I didn't even know that I was opening anything. But I saw the dragon on my dragon altar, and it started from then on. I saw the image of the dragon, and from then on, I seemed to helped my dragons to open up the gates. I didn't know. I did not know about this at all. And yet, later on, I came to understand that it was a cooperation to open up the gates. And that is because I became a dragon witch, because I opened up gates, because I didn't even know that I was doing it. And yet somewhere inside of me, I always loved dragons. I just hid it. I just didn't want people to know. I pushed the dragon away from a long time, but then no more. So I, sometimes without knowing it, opened up the gates. how to open up gates, my brothers and sisters, that you don't need a giant ceremony. You don't need this. You don't need to see all the Latin spells or something like this. You don't need anything. You just need your own emotions and your sincere emotions towards the dragon. What are your emotions? Ask yourself this, my brothers and sisters. Ask yourself what your emotions are. If you just think or maybe see the image of the dragon, what are your emotions? There was at the time a great, enormous emotion, and I know a lot of people play video games on the dragon's part, but I cannot. I saw an image where they killed the dragon in such a horrible way that I was shocked, but out of this shock I also opened up the gate. Out of this negative energy but it was negative, but it was energy as well, I opened up the gate and the dragons were immediately there. Immediately, once I saw this dragon being destroyed by humans just for no reason at all. It's for an entertainment. Of course it's virtual. I know it's virtual, but it's meant for entertainment. And that is what makes me that made me very emotional. And so it's things like this. These are the energies that you need to open up the gates. That is why normal witches or Wiccans or everyone who is just interested are not allowed in the dragon realm and not allowed even close to them. Not allowed there. That is why it's so sacred. The dragon's gate is the most sacred things ever. It's being guarded by a gate. It's a fifth gate, but then even you have to go further to a dragon's gate that is guarded and protected by the most gigantic energy in the entire universe. That is Leviathan. That is so protected, and that we can open it up with just our simple emotions. You don't need to do much that you are forced. Don't force yourself. Don't. And that is why you have your own unique way of opening a gate that is protected so darn much by Leviathan himself. So far away, yet you are allowed to go there because of your spirit, because of your dragon eye, because of your connection. Use it, my brothers and sisters. It's for you, it should not be far away. Let your dragon show you the way. But how you do it, how you open up the gate, let your emotions talk to you. Let the emotions see, let yourself be shown the way through the dragon's gate. We all have our ways. There is not one way to open up a gate. There are so many ways, and just for you there is meant one way. One way is just meant for you. You have this key to open up the door, the gate to the dragon. You have this key. Use it, but you cannot say or ask anyone else, how should I use this key? How should I use? They don't know. They don't know how your emotions are, how your energy is, how to use your own dragon spirit in your advantage of your dragon eye, of your dragon spirits around you. You can write it down in your book of dragon shadows for later on to remember if you no longer can open up the gate, if you are just asking yourself, how did I do it? Then you can write it down in your book of dragon shadows, an empty book that will soon be filled with the one and only and the correct information that you will need as a dragon witch, as a dragon wiccan, as the one who uses magic to manipulate nature with the approval of the gods themselves, that you are allowed to manipulate it because you are born here. But you are as well as dragon spirit, a traveler, a child of the dragon gods. That is why you are allowed. But there is only one way. And to find out the way, you have to listen to your own draconic spirit. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.